Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Ageless Women Cooking with Dana and Robin. Robin's going to share a favorite recipe that she uses not just during the holidays, but predominantly during the holidays, and it's quick and easy, and it's going to enhance your holiday meals.
We are making a mushroom gravy, and it's a vegetarian gravy. I started making this because my husband is vegetarian. He doesn't eat any meat, so at the holidays I needed to have something to serve him. And in the past, I would make it with flour. I would make a roux to make this gravy, but now I want to participate, so I changed it, and now it's a gluten-free recipe, and I've taken the flour out, and we're using some other ingredients to substitute.
And it has a lot less fat, and she's going to tell you all about how to make it in just a second. But before we dig into this quick and easy recipe for mushroom gravy, we wanted to share with you something for the holiday season. It's, certainly the season of giving, and all year long should be a season of giving. But Robin and I have partnered with Compassion International, and it's a wonderful organization that helps needy kids in third world countries. So we decided, as part of our cooking show, here we are in a land of plenty, where we have more concern about trying not to eat too much than getting enough to eat. And there's these beautiful children across the world that need sponsors. And so we thought, what would be more fun than maybe actually talking about two kids, and if you're offended by calling them kids, two children. We've had the privilege of sponsoring children ourselves for many, many years, but today we're featuring Samuel Awor. His birthday is on May 10th, and he's from Kenya, and you'll see his darling little picture coming up on the screen and his cute little face. He is in need of a sponsor, and sponsorship is just $38 a month, and it's amazing how you can change the life of a child for just $38. The other little child, you'll see her picture coming up now, is Clarissa Sanchez, and her birthday is August 10, 2006, and she's from Mexico. These are just two of the many, many thousands and thousands of children that need sponsors. What would be more meaningful than choosing to sponsor a child in the next week, getting a little picture folder in the mail and putting it in your Christmas tree? Telling your kids or your grandkids why it's so important to reach out.
You know, Deanna, it really is a blessing to sponsor a child, and my husband and I, we just completed a child. He just turned 18, and I think we sponsored him for about 14 years.
Oh, wow.
And he learned a trade. He learned how to farm, and a way to create income. Not only that, he learned the scriptures. He got a Bible. He got educated through school, reading and writing, and had food to eat and clothing to wear. And
Yes.
to watch that happen over that time and see him progress, and now he's a man.
That's right. And we think, we're giving a gift, and we are. But I see so much of a gift coming back to us. And if you do choose to sponsor a child, make sure you send a picture of yourself. I have met adult-sponsored children in traveling with these organizations, and they still have pictures in their pocket of their sponsor. They know you chose them and that you pray for them. So we just wanted to mention that today on our cooking show. Well, let's start cooking.
This is such a simple recipe. There's not that many ingredients. You've got about a cup and a half of chopped mushrooms. Hey, if you are not a mushroom fan, you can actually omit the mushrooms and just use onions. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got one small onion chopped here.
Yeah, that's why it looks
I
like
know.
we're crying.
So a chopped onion, the chopped mushrooms, we've got about 2 tablespoons of butter, and we are going to be using vegetable broth, about 2 cups. When I say about, you're going to see why, because as I make the gravy and the sauce and it thickens, sometimes I'll add a little more liquid, sometimes I'll add a little more thickener. And to make it gluten-free, I don't know if you can see this because it's white.
Well, I'll show them.
This is arrowroot. Okay.
It's white.
It's white. Okay. So this is arrowroot, and it's a starch. There's no grain in it. There's no gluten in it, and you can use it for thickening. Right here, I've got about 3 teaspoons for this recipe. We may add more as I'm cooking it, but you use that instead of the flour to make your roux. So the first thing we're going to, and salt and pepper, of course, to season. To taste. I just add that later. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to saute till golden brown. like a brown, the onions. And you don't want them just translucent, you want them actually turning a brownish color. Once the onions are fried up and they're that dark golden brown, then add the mushrooms to that pan and cook for about another 2 minutes or so. About 2 minutes. The mushrooms should be cooked. You've chopped both of these really, really fine, by the way. You want your onion chopped really fine and your mushroom chopped really fine. Once you've cooked the mushrooms for the 2 minutes, stir in your 3 teaspoons of arrowroot. Stir that through and then cook that gently, stirring it for another minute. And then after that minute has passed, you want to now add your stock. I'm adding about 2 cups of this organic vegetable stock. Bring it to a boil and then stir it constantly. Just keep stirring and stirring. Once you bring it to a boil, turn it down and just keep letting it thicken and blend together. Then once it's blended together and you start seeing it kind of thicken up a little bit, go ahead and season it by adding your salt and your pepper. Your vegetable broth has salt in it, but you definitely want to taste the seasoning. I always add more salt and I definitely add pepper. Depending on how thick your gravy starts to get, you can either add more liquid or you can add a teaspoon of the arrowroot at one time. When you add that extra arrowroot, do not just dump it into the gravy. You want to take a little ramekin, add your teaspoon of arrowroot, add a half a teaspoon of water or a teaspoon of water and stir it up first so that you have like this little white liquid paste kind of a thing. It'll be thin. And then just pour that into the gravy so that you don't have clumps.
So if you're really trying to go super healthy, save some calories, save some carbs, you can actually create a cauliflower mash. Now, that takes a little bit of time cutting up your cauliflower, but if you're a super busy woman, Robin and I found a new, it may not be a new product, but it's new to us.
It's frozen and it's pre-riced cauliflower, already cooked, and you just have to heat it through on the stovetop for a few minutes until any water's dissipated and it's cooked, ready to go.
So while we're cooking our gravy, we're going to pop it into this little ceramic pan. Healthy pans do make a difference. And it'll be ready to pour our gravy over. It is my favorite time of day. Lunch.
Yay!
This looks so good. I haven't tasted it yet.
So Deanna's already got her mushroom gravy on her cauliflower. We decided not to make cauliflower mash. We decided to eat it as a cauliflower rice because we didn't want to do the extra step today in pureeing it. But I'm going to pour some of this gravy onto
I said we didn't taste it.
And you can be liberal because you know what? This is not high calorie. So you don't have to be like, oh, I don't want just a smidgen of gravy. You can eat really a lot of it.
So if you're feeling like the cauliflower under the gravy is just not enough, consider this. Go half and half. Take new potatoes or even, whatever your favorite mashed potato is and mix them together. And that way you're saving a lot of carbs and you're adding a lot of fiber, and it's just one little step toward a slightly healthier meal. Well, we're ready to dig in.
Taste.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to hold it closer to me because I'm known to be sloppy. My mouth is watering. I must be hungry. Oh my goodness.
It is so good. I mean, it is delicious. It really is you could add this to anything.
And we have, you may have noticed this little brown thing on our plate. We have Angus burgers. We buy them at Costco. They're so convenient. They come frozen but pre-cooked. While we were cooking the cauliflower and the gravy, they were just warming. And I think I'm going to pour a little bit of the gravy.
Oh yeah, that'll be really good.
Over the meat because, again, like Robin said, lots of nutrition but not a lot of calories.
Yeah, please.
So much less fat than normal gravy. We hope you try this recipe. Enjoy.
Christmas future is far away. Christmas past is past. Christmas present is here to stay, bringing joy that will last. Have yourself a blessed little Christmas. Christ the King is born. Let your voices ring upon this happy morn. Have yourself a blessed little Christmas. Serenade the earth. Tell the world we celebrate the Savior's birth. Let us gather to sing to Him and to bring to Him